Why, hello everyone, welcome back. Who's ready for the thrilling conclusion to the big mystery story?
Me, I am. I'm very excited. I can't wait.
I too am very excited. I can't wait. I don't know how this ends, and I'm so intrigued by this antagonist figure. All right, Ellie would share with you a shocking new turn in the Phantom Thief case. I was wondering when you'd show up, Durmin. I hope you haven't made any plans for the night because we've got a situation on our hands. You remember our good friend, the Phantom Thief? Well, seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder. If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Ul'dah society. And nothing of value was lost. Mr. Many Faces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the Mithril Eye's been selling like pond cakes. The only rub is that it's left me no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Durmin? The hidden treasures of Ul'dah, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it's you-know-who. To Sunsilk Tapestries. Yes, I do know who, but just so everyone else is clear on... Wyman, right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go see Wyman. There we are. Wyman, do you have intel for me?
Well, now, if it ain't my favorite venturer and my favorite Mithril Eye reporter along with him, tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I'd like to help 2 of my best mates, I'm afraid you found old Wyman at a loss. Ul'dah has more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our Phantom Thief could be after just about any of them. I can tell you this much, though. Whatever the thief's got his eye on, it's got the Sultan's Sorn in the right dither. Word has it that they've formed a regiment of their own best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults from his very threat.
The Sultan's Sworn aren't like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Come on, Durmin. I'd say it's time we paid a visit to the heart of the Sworn.
Oi, hold up there, Ellie. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourself involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play hero.
Your concern is touching, but I can assure you I'm ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Durmin, time's of the essence.
All right, but don't let me warn you that you're approaching the climax of the story, where there's usually a dark hour for the hero.
Oh no. You're right, that is what happens. Okay, to the Scholar's Walk then. Oh, right, yes, this is where Scholar's Walk is. I knew that. Hey, Humphrey.
Humphrey!
Halt! Only authorized personnel are allowed in. Thal, bugger me with a broadsword. It's the Gentleman of Light's adventuring companion and that catty but cute reporter from the Mithril Eye. Well, if it isn't the self-styled Warrior of Light. Tell me, what tall tales did you spin to the Sultan's Sworn recruiter to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that Gentleman of Light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me to the depths of my soul, like I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm just like my hero, Master Hildibrand. The Sultan's Sworn were impressed by my commitment and my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Wait, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildibrand in his investigation, haven't you? Oh, why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help the mates who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Phyllis. She's one of the Sworn's best, something of a history buff, it'd seem. And when she heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Balladia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I can trust you not to touch anything, hi?
Huh.
Not 100% sure I remember what voice I gave him.
That is okay.
It's been a bit. A pleasure to meet you, Phyllis. My name is Ellie from the Mithril Eye. As you may have heard, we're researching the Phantom Thief case and would appreciate any information that may shed light on recent events.
The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie. And if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion here one Durmin Darami, yes?
it's me, hello. You know Durmin?
As any regular reader of the Mithril I would. I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist in the investigation. Doubtless the inspector, too, will also welcome a helping hand.
Ooh, hello there. The Sultan Sworn, the elite of Uldah's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Briardian, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, Durmin, a moment, if you would. Right there, very good. Now, face me, and don't move an ilm. Inspector, what's it that in your... Demasking dust. A formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analyzing the mask left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counteragent that would dissolve the disguise whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. Brilliant, Inspector. The phantom thieves pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time.
I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan Sworn at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply.
And we just used one. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Uldah, the last of 4 lost relics of Baladia?
I fear not. I've pored through the histories time and again. But the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference to an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Baladian heroes, makes no mention as to their appearance or nature.
3 times we've tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times has he foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strengths.
All artifacts of Baladian origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I have furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust, and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages.
The blackguard will be in chains before he can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasures within. You have our word, my lady.
But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetrating by our quarry. The Sultan Sworn have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too occupied with the defenses of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful for any assistance you could offer.
A lady asks, and the gentleman answers.
It's him! Yay!
The main character.
Our problems are as good as solved.
Cast all worry from your heart, my lady. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dust that is all the talk of the palace. Ah, but you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be.
A shame, that.
Inspector Hildibrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far: the head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that, they were all influential figures in their respective circles. We can identify no common thread connecting the three.
Oh, this will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel, gutted with a greatsword, strangled with a subligar mayhap?
I'm afraid that we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murder plots, the deaths of 2 more, even as we speak. We must take action and quickly.
Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar turned butcher delivered to justice.
Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildibrand. Friends, please take this damasking dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single sachet, but I trust you will put it to good use.
All right.
Finally, someone who respects the genius that is Hildibrand.
Exactly, yes. Finally someone gets it.
Come to accompany me on yet another case, friend. I like your gusto. But if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled most ably.
Dang.
Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Durmin, my ever-loyal associate.
I'll take it.
And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sins of Sasamo. Even the most circumspect of... Circumspect? Is that real?
I think so.
Okay. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues. Clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associate. We must put Miss Phyllis's masking dust to good use.
And I'm certain that we will. Oh, I can't wait to see. To the 80 sins of something. Here we are. Oh, it's just right outside. Okay. Huh. Flowers.
Flowers. Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares.
Ah. Just what do you think you're doing? Huh? Huh? Who is this now? I'm the one who put those flowers there, huh? To honor the memory of me poor boy. You dare defile his memory, huh? Huh?
1,000 pardons, my lady. Please, accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. As I was saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean...
Leave this place. Run away while you still can. Run far, far away. Run, or he'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor, poor boy. A living person turned into a zombie. Nonsense. Not nonsense, my boy. History. Or have you not heard the horrors of Sil'dih? Aye, Huldah's sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, aye, but I speak of far greater horrors than death. An unholy draught brewed by a Sil'dih alchemist, one with the power to turn the living to the undead, that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers, the traitor's spurn. They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotten flesh and ran him through. But you won't hear that from the Sultan Sworn. Thal alone knows why, but they whisked the body away before I could so much as pay me last respects. The traitor's spurn? I'd heard the stories, but I'd never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing, just who are we dealing with here? A Sil'dih, I'm sure of it. Aye, only a Sil'dih would know the recipe. But the last remnants of Sil'dih died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, they did. He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did it ever occur to you that he might be an honest-to-God's phantom? Huh? Huh? Heard the tales from my own great-great-grandma, I did, about the 4 relics of Baladia and the powers they hold, the power to exact justice. A specter of Sil'dih has returned to wreak vengeance on us, Woe, woe unto us all, have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us. My dear boy, if only you'd become a traitor like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of those history books and never so much as breathed the accursed name of Sil'dih. But you did, and now we're doomed. Doomed! Doomed! Thinking.
Do we trust this random old lady outside Ul'dah?
That bleeding whoreson's here somewhere. I can feel it in me follicles.
He's back.
The most potent hair tonic the realm has seen. Aye, that it was, for all of a fortnight afore my flowing locks fell out all over again. And just as I was chatting up a lovely young lass at the quicksand, just to twist the knife in extra ill. Mountebank, charlatan, I'll find that so-called inspector and his sorry band and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls.
We're acquiring enemies at an alarming rate. I'm very intrigued by where they're going with this 4 Warriors of Light thing. Like, every time they're getting into the history and the legends, it sounds so like just the basic premise of an old NES-era Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They seem to, like, use the basis of other Final Fantasy games as a history for this one, which is very meta.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Hildibrand is on to something, or at least he thinks he is.
It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within.
Hooray!
Gross.
And gross also.
Open your ears and feast your mind on the fruits of my flawless deduction. Our phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and the dead for nigh on centuries, since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul, that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the specter's grievance? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturge's Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations.
Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Sil'dih might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need.
You can count on me, Inspector Briardian. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the Guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye.
I'm just assuming that, I'd be much obliged if you could keep him out of the way, Durmin. I have some real investigating to do. I'd prefer to be free of distractions.
All right.
Yeah, I kind of figured. That's fine.
Let's do some homework.
Let's do some homework. Let's go read books at the Thaumaturge's Guild. There we are. Hello. Researching the ancient feud between Ul'dah and Sil'dih, are you? Most impressive. Young people these days show so little interest in learning from the past. Anyhow, I'm pleased to say I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, one must go back further still to the birth of their mother nation, Belladia. The Fifth Astral Era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. This age of enlightenment could not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great floods of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused this catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to Thanalin, where they would found the nation of Belladia some 8 centuries agone. Imagine a government of mages, by mages, and for mages. What wonders might have been wrought had Belladian civilization survived to this very day. Alas, this was not to be.
Couldn't have been that great if it caused a calamity.
Yeah. Kinda seems like we already had a test run of that.
Greetings, traveler. You would learn of the war between Ul'dah and the fallen Sultanate of Sil'dih. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Ul'dah emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ul'dah's superior numbers, Sil'dih alchemists devised a most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightful formula known as the Traitor's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it that they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it, no? It is truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against these horrors.
Indeed. Goodness. You don't say. It's not every day someone comes to our halls to research Sil'dih. As a fellow student of history, though, I'm more than welcome to conversation. Baladian civilization flourished in relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two, forming the twin nations of Ul'dah and Sil'dih. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry. I feel like I should have been aware of this already. Like, I know I've heard the name Sil'dih thrown around from time to time, but I don't think I'd stumbled upon a quest line that, explained all of this. I guess this is the one. I just hadn't done this one, and that's why.
Yeah, there's this one, and we may learn that reason.
Ooh.
Durmin. Don't surprise me like that. What is this? You're here not for your studies, but to learn of the bad blood between Ul'dah and Sil'dih?
Yes, please.
2 scales, one of gold and one of silver. The gold of Ul'dah, weighing prosperity and power. The silver of Sil'dih, weighing knowledge and power. But the powers sought by the two nations differed greatly, yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Ul'dah prosperity was that of justice and good, while the power wrought by Sil'dih knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter, the histories are clear, but riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories, and what does this say of the worst words writ within? Yes, truth can be elusive and fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that in the war against Sil'dih, Ul'dah and Amalja warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not, and neither did I until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text buried deep in our archives. And yet, in the histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of this most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone at some time deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But I have said enough already.
No, you haven't. Say more. Fine. Boss!
Interesting that we've never heard of Sil'dih until now.
Right?
How convenient it is that Ul'dah is the winning nation.
It's not like I needed a grand reveal as to why my kingdom sucked. I kind of knew all that already.
Yeah. What? Yeah, we could just add historical, rewriting history onto the pile of things. At this point, it's not really a shock and more of of course.
Yeah, pretty much.
My ever loyal associate, tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls?
So much. Weirdly much for this quest line.
Indeed. As it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Baladia, giving rise to sibling nations of Ul'dah and Sil'dih. The two nations coexist for some generations until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Ul'dah's superior military might, Sil'dih employs their advanced alchemical knowledge to horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome undead legion. Yes, I believe I have it. The facts at hand have led me to one unassailable conclusion. Our Phantom Thief is a descendant of doomed Sil'dih, who seeks vengeance against those who reduce his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sil'dih statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem, and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has wrought.
Perfect.
Yeah, who needs an exorcism when you've got a nice heartfelt apology?
Yeah. A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go and find yourself a shovel and dig this statesman out of the grave yourself? Leaving aside his nonsense of spirits and specters, it appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Sil'dih. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen sultanate. This Sil'dih connection would also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Baladian relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary? A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had a most frightened air about him.
Wait, yes, it's coming to me. Of course! My keen investigator's sense rings out with a voice loud and clear. This man Ellie speaks of just might know something.
Perfect. You really should stop thinking so hard. You're like to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man and where might we find him? My sources identified the man as Guguria, a traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit? Yes, please.
Pray return?
Yep. We're prey returning once again. Here we go. Here we are. Yeah, at least just Horizon this time. Hello there, my fellow short.
Yes, if you've got business, make it quick. My time's too valuable to be wasted chatting with every stranger who passes by.
Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter with the Mithril Eye. Never blinking, all seeing, you know the rest. I was wondering if we could trouble you with just a few questions.
Was it for love or money that you killed them? Yes, you, the thief of many faces.
Me? A thief? What is this nonsense? I don't know who you are, but I ain't got the time or the patience for this mummery. Now, if you'll excuse me, an important client awaits.
Who's I thought I recognized that voice. Who's this? Who are we? Oh, you.
Oh, Lady Durrilda! Well met indeed. Pray tell, what brings you to these environs this fair morning?
Why, I live here, you ham-headed half-wit. Inspector Briardian, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Guguria, we can discuss business after. Pray, lend the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires.
But which one?
I know. But Lady Durrilda, what about... Ah yes, my dear Maria's name day present. I had in mind one of the prized pieces from Esthame's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Ul'dah myself? I'll say this just once more, Guguria. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. They, yes, even the stupid one, helped me regain something truly priceless. Yes, something more valuable than any mere trinket. Aw, making friends works.
Yeah, we're helping. It's good to have confirmation.
All right. I'll tell you what I know. But you didn't hear it from me, got it? I was looking into the killings on behalf of a client of mine. The thief's got himself some of that zombie dust. The traitor spurned, was it? And his card speaks of 5 victims. It got me thinking. Sil'dih, 5 victims. Aye, the Arbiters of Truth.
The Arbiters of Truth? I'm not familiar with the name.
Aye, few would be, on account of them being something of a secret society and all. Influential personage of the Sultanate, you see, working from the shadows to keep false knowledge about Ul'dah-Sil'dih conflict from reaching the ears of folk like you and me.
False knowledge? Pray tell, what sort of knowledge might that be?
Thal's balls! Don't make me say no more. I've got a family to feed.
Very well. Just tell us one last thing. Who hired you, and where can we find him?
Hob. His name is Hob. When he heard what I said, he told me that he was going to set sail for Limsa with his 5 best swordsmen to guard his back. Said there were many prying eyes at the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waited for him at Vesper Bay. But remember, you didn't hear none of this from me.
This man Hob must be one of the killer's targets. Doubtless he also knows the identity of the remaining one.
I doubt that. They say the Arbiters are so secretive, they don't even know each other's true identities. Now, don't ask me how that all works, but Hob's got high-ranking friends in the Brass Blades. Once he heard the victims had all been zombified, he panicked. Guess he knew that he'd be next.
Thank you very much, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Mandeville art of parley has procured for us a key morsel of knowledge. Let us seek out this Hob fellow and see what he can spare with us. And let us hurry. The man's life is in danger even as we speak.
Yes, this time we must pray return with all haste. And here I thought, just once I might go to Horizon to see Horizon. Anyway, all right, I would have taken us all the way there, but actually apparently there's a cutscene just as soon as we go through here, so hang on. Master Hob? Is everything quite all right? No. Stand back, Ellie.
Hunger. I hunger for your brains.
Oh no. Damn. There's no saving the man. Durmin, do what you must. Bunches of punches. Got it.
Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tells me this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. 'Twould seem we were a few moments late of the scene.
A message. And then there was one.
There it is again.
Is something the matter, Inspector?
Indeed, Nashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the Phantom Thief, I've had this feeling, this fleeting sense. A sense that someone or something is watching us.
The thief might be close at hand. We should be careful. For the moment, let's return and report our findings to Miss Phyllis. Secret society or no, knowing the identities of its members may yet lead us to the final victim. I, too, had best return to the Mithril Eye. Let's meet up again after. I'll see what new clues I can uncover in the meantime. You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone. Inspector! Inspector! I'll go with her!
If you insist, Nashu, then I give you my leave. But pray be wary. Not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite the temper, as we both know.
I was expecting a much more severe response.
Probably getting used to it by now.
Yeah, I suppose so. Seems like everyone's kind of gotten used to it now. Miss Ellie, there is something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe. Promise me that you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when the fiend took aim at my own life. Your life, at Costa del Sol. Yes, that was quite the ordeal, wasn't it? I'll be careful, I promise. I eagerly await the day when I may hear what it is you would share with me.
A secret vow? Ho ho! Consider my interest piqued as well, good Inspector. Now let us be off. Miss Phyllis awaits our report.
We all just fall into this man's orbit like a brilliant star. All right, back to Ul'dah. Home of and origin of all bad things. Hello, Phyllis.
A fourth victim? Thol have mercy. Were you able to glean aught of a connection with the other victims? The Arbiters of Truth? No.
It cannot be.
Somebody help!
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Miss Ellie! The voice came from the direction of the vault. We must hurry.
Miss Ellie, are you hurt? That man, I only thought to ask him a few questions. Before I knew what was happening, he was upon me. I could only...
Bash his brains with a conveniently placed bottle of mead, it would seem. Ha ha! Remind me not to get on your bad side, Miss Ellie. That said, is Nashu not with you?
She saw a figure lurking in the shadows and went off in pursuit before I could stop her.
This man wears the armor of the Sultan's squire, yet his face is unfamiliar to me. Something's amiss. The thief of many faces! To think we would find our man like this.
I'm suspicious.
Thrice and again did the fiend elude our grasp, but no more. By virtue of a gentleman's ingenious deduction and a lady's pugilistic puissance, I declare this case closed. I return this sachet to you, Miss Phyllis. Whilst the gesture was appreciated, in the end it proved superfluous to my cracking of the case.
Oh no! While you're at it, is there anything else of immense value that you'd like to wantonly destroy?
What is the meaning of this?
Ingenious. A double disguise, planted by the thief to throw us off his trail, no doubt.
This is Gaigu, one of my most capable men. I assigned him to guard the vault, and outfitted him with an ample supply of damasking dust. It is inconceivable that the thief could so easily elude his grasp. Unless the thief was not wearing a mask. Speaking of which, has anyone seen Miss Ellie?
No. That's impossible.
Of course! It all makes perfect sense. With the Phantom Thief to thank for her burgeoning readership and rise through the ranks of the Mithril Eye, Miss Ellie could not bear to face the possibility of her story of a lifetime coming to an end. Thus, she hatched a plan to...
But, my lady, the vault has been breached. The wise men's whisper. It's gone.
For her foul crimes against the Sultanate, I hereby declare Ellie of the Mithril Eye the thief of many faces and enemy of the state. Deploy all troops and do not rest until she is in custody. And now the game is truly afoot.
And also he is here. Bah! What is the meaning of all this racket and rumpus? And just as we were about to make our triumphant return. Isn't that so, Enkidu? This plot has thickened several times over. Miss Ellie! Miss Ellie! That shadow you said you saw? I think it was just a dormouse. Oh dear.
Oh no, Nashu! To think he'd literally stumble face first into the second mast. His good fortune truly knows no end. But not to worry. Yes, I dare say the Phantom Thief has another trick or two up his sleeve.
Yeah, I was not prepared for this to be so fun a mystery story.
Yeah,
On top
right?
of all the goofs. Yeah.
That's how they get you.
Oh, it is. Darn it. Storytelling. They keep on hooking me with the storytelling. Not even the shockingest turn of events will deter the famed agent of inquiry.
My ever-loyal associate, we must find Miss Ellie, and quickly. Surely, if confronted by her constant companions, she can still be convinced to abandon this fool plan. Oh, Miss Phyllis, I thought you had already departed in the company of your men, but all for the better. Shall we conduct the search together?
I fear that would only put them at greater risk. You see, the fifth and final member of the Arbiters of Truth, the Phantom Thief's final target, is none other than...
Hildibrand Manderville?
me. Mind you, it is not a role I sought of my own accord. My name and my passion for history are somewhat well known in the Sultanate. One day, I received an anonymous letter stating that a position in the committee had opened, and I had been chosen to fill it. The letter went on to enumerate my duties, to prevent the spread of historical lies that would sully the name of our illustrious nation. As a high-ranking officer of the Sultan's Sworn, I was deemed to be in a particularly unique position to serve as an arbiter. I knew that there were other members of the organization, but was told nothing of their names or identities. To think that my unknown compatriots were the victims all along. I cannot put any more lives in danger. I will sequester myself in a place where my presence can cause no harm, until such a time as the killer is apprehended.
Your concern for our well-being is most touching, Miss Phyllis, but there is no need for such caution. As a seasoned inspector, I am more than capable of protecting a lady in distress. As a gentleman, that is exactly what I shall do. My associates here also stand at your side. Speaking of which, has anyone seen my loyal assistant?
Inspector, over here.
Ah, there you are, Nashu. You really shouldn't run off on your own like that. I was worried sick about you.
I'm sorry, Inspector. Miss Ellie said she saw somebody in the shadows, so I went to take a look. Now, there wasn't anything there but a dormouse, but it was a really, really cute dormouse, you see? It just kept squeaking and scurrying away, and I just...
Pardon me for a moment, Nashu. Yes, my inspector's sense speaks to me. Someone is watching us. Durmin, let us split up and canvass our surroundings.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, Hildibrand is actually onto something here, like truly.
He is. The sense speaks true.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Miss Ellie? Do you think she went looking for the dormouse too?
I don't know, Nashu Makaraka, if that truly is your name. Maybe you can tell me.
You're playing this very well. All right, let's see. Ah, a water-stained letter. Conspicuously laying on the floor. Oh, wow. Be wary and be warned.
Good observation on your part.
Thank you. A water-stained letter lies conspicuously on the floor. Trust no one and your friends all the less. In all caps, so you know it's serious. Also a bag. This will avail you well. Use it wisely. You obtain a sachet of demasking dust. In the next instant, you feel an intimidating presence behind you. Boy, do I.
Ho, 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 ho. If it isn't my beloved son's staunch companion, the mighty Durmin. I was in the area on a matter of business, which I curtained when I felt a suspicious presence from the shadows. Pursuing it led me here. Mayhap it is the same for you.
Sort of. For me, it was the letters.
Oh-ho! So, your pursuit of the thief of many faces has taken quite the unexpected turn, and now you have come upon a series of anonymous letters. Mayhap our watcher in the shadows is a friend, or is this but another trap laid by the fiend? Yes, the plot thickens like a dollop of salamander oil. In either event, I dare say the circumstances call for utmost caution. The thief could be anywhere or anyone. Myself excluded, of course. No mere mask could replicate the physique of this Mandeville man.
That is true.
That said, I fear my dear Hildy may be in a bit over his head this time. Allow me to assist you in your investigation. Were anything to happen to Hildibrand, his dear mother would not be pleased.
Oh, I would love to have you along. Just in case something or someone needs throwing.
You could use you as like a human cannonball.
That's true. Like, I'm like perfect shot put size.
Very dense.
If the sender speaks true, the villain even now lurks within our midst. And yet, we have but a single sachet of demasking dust at our disposal. We must identify the imposter beyond a reasonable doubt before we proceed. You know the players better than I, Durmin. What say you have a few words with each of them, and see if aught seems amiss?
Ooh, that should be fun. All right, Briardian, thoughts? Miss Ellie is the Phantom Thief. It's the only logical conclusion, and yet I cannot help but feel that another truth still evades us.
Am I doomed to share the same fate as the others? I'd sooner die than become one of those things.
But then there's also you. Inspector Briardian told me all about it. Who'd have thunk Miss Ellie was the Phantom Thief all this time? She sure fooled me. I'm stumped. Do you have... And where were you on the night of the 10 minutes ago?
Well, I was getting my nails done.
Checks out. Okay. Your nails look great.
Thank you.
Nothing particularly odd about any of them, you say. It stands to reason. The fiend would not take such a risk if it were not utterly confident that he could pull off the ruse.
Curses! This one's not half the fool his son is. I must elude him, and quickly. Time is of the essence.
I questioned the Sultan's sworn outside. To a man, they insisted they have seen naught of Miss Ellie. Wherever could she have gone? Father, what brings you here?
Yes, finally the pieces are coming together. Now, if you would kindly stand still and shut up, the fiend already stands among us.
Inspector Briardian, I should hope that you are not doubting me.
While I am quite convinced that even a master impersonator would struggle to recreate your particular brand of idiocy, the fact remains that anyone here who has spent even a moment alone must be considered a suspect. The thief's proven to be highly efficient at assuming new identities.
An astute observation, my gangly friend. I'd say this occasion calls for a dose of 2 of that powder Durmin here found earlier. There wouldn't happen to be another sachet or 2 lying about, would there?
What remains of our supply has already been distributed to the search party, but worry not. They should be reporting back within a bell's time. Ha! Time might be against me, but just you watch. I'll wiggle my way out of this and turn you into the reeking, drooling corpse you deserve to be.
I fear that is more time than we can afford, Miss Phyllis. Fortunately, my powers of deduction will lay the fiend's face bare within minutes.
Ooh.
We know that, given the choice, the thief prefers to impersonate familiar personages. As Miss Ellie has only passing interactions with my dear father, we can safely eliminate him from consideration. That leaves myself, Nashu, and Durmin here. Nashu and I, in particular, have had a close and extended relationship with our suspect. I shall begin by questioning mine own assistant. I assure you that none know her better than I.
Brilliant reasoning as ever, Inspector. Go on, ask me anything.
Of all the times for this overstuffed buffoon to start talking sense, if he asks me anything too obscure, my cover is as good as blown.
My relationship with Nashu is so close, I dare say at times it is as if we share a mind. If this Nashu is truly my ever-loyal assistant, she should have no trouble completing my thoughts. I am a Manderville.
Man,
Doing what only a Manderville.
can.
From the peaks of Kurthus to Thanalan, Manderville.
Man, you're the best, Inspector.
A perfect score. You may rest easy, dear friends. This is unmistakably, unequivocally, indubitably the true Nashu. I've never loved you more than now, you marvelous muttonhead, you. Nashu, is something the matter? Just because you've picked up a few more wrinkles beneath the eyes, there's no need to avert that charming face of yours.
Wrinkles? Wrinkles! Look who's talking, you crusty, cretinous old... Genius, Inspector? The charade is up, Miss Ellie.
Miss Ellie, you look somehow different.
I'm kind of amazed he pulled it off.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Master of deduction.
Brilliant work, Inspector. Who is this unfamiliar woman, and what secrets does she hold?
Seven hells, done by a muscle-bound muttonhead and his motley troop of mummers.
Just who are you? Your resemblance to Miss Ellie is most uncanny, and yet...
Consulting Inspector Briardian. Once again, you fail to measure up to your lofty reputation. Of course we resemble each other. Ellie is, after all, my own flesh and blood, my beloved sister, an eminently capable partner in crime. 1,000 faces I may wear, but only one name do I bear. You can call me Ceci. Charmed, I'm sure. Are you quite all right? Why, you look as if you've seen a ghost. Despite my moniker, I assure you that Ellie and I are no specters. What we are, mind you, are the last living scions of Sil'dih aristocracy. Bemused, are you? Befuddled to find two sisters behind the mask? Try using your brains once in a while. Every time you encountered the thief, Ellie was standing right in your midst. No, the thief that 4 times stole the show. Oh, and those priceless relics was me. Meanwhile, Ellie hid in plain sight, supplying me with just the knowledge I needed to stay one step ahead of my pursuers, all while spinning the hair-raising tales of my exploits that won the hearts of this nation. We owe a lot to you, truly. Why, without the tales of your hapless attempts to catch me, we never could have risen to the heights of celebrity. Miss Cersei, from a gentleman to a lady, I would ask you one thing and one thing only. Just what is it that you and Miss Ellie hope to accomplish with all of your schemes? Justice! 400 years ago, Ul'dan dogs reduced our great nation to a nation of zombies. At long last, the cowards that would still justify these foul deeds will suffer the same fate.
Wait, the histories say that it was Sil'dih that turned their own men into zombies.
The histories lie, and you work from the shadows, silencing those who would speak the truth. You should have died with your fellows, false arbiter. It was Ul'dah that ordered the creation of that dreadful powder and wielded it as a weapon against our proud ancestors. The history of your glorious sultanate is built on a lie.
Yeah, that checks out.
Revisionism.
What is this madness you speak, woman?
Not madness, truth. The powder in my possession was stolen from the Ul'dah armory 4 centuries ago by one of my ancestors. They say it was his final act of courage in the moments before his leg and his rotting head dropped from his shoulders. This is the truth that the histories don't tell. The truth that this doe-eyed Sultan Sorn would kill to keep buried deep in the sands of Thanalan. But your time of reckoning is nigh. Oh yes, before long you and everyone in this rotten nation will know firsthand the horrors of my ancestors knew.
And just what do you mean by that?
Oh, how the idiot lap up the stories. A mass crusader of justice. A dashing rebel waging battle against power and authority. Oh, if only they knew. But they will see soon enough, when they're eating each other's brains out on the streets. In the last days before our proud nation was razed to the ground, a band of the final survivors stole a vast quantity of the powder from the Ul'dah vaults, hiding it away in a secret vault sealed with powerful magics. The sole means by which the vault may be opened, by assembling 4 sacred relics from Baladia. 4 relics once housed in the royal palace of Sil'dih before the Ul'dah dogs stole them and claimed them for their own. And so it dawns upon you at last. Yes, even as we speak, Ellie makes for the vault, the 4 relics safely in hand. Just think, one day you'll be able to tell your grandchildren that you were there when the zombie powder rained down on Ul'dah. No, wait, you'll all be dead.
Preposterous.
But first, you, my dear, you will not even have the pleasure to look upon the last moments of your precious homeland. Let your flesh rot like all of your rotten lies.
I think not, Miss Ceci!
Hildibrand, no!
Oh no! No! Hildibrand!
You idiot! Just for once, could you not get in the way? Godbert Manderville! I can't even trust your sorry ass to look after him for a day!
What?
I knew it! That presence watching over us from the shadows. It was you, my dear wife!
And we even saw her before. That's great. Am I to understand that you are Hildibrand's mother? Gilgamesh, you should just sit this one out.
Uh-oh.
Nope. This is more like it. Hand to hand, skillet to skillet. It's enough to send a warrior's pulse racing. Prepare yourself, Durmin. The time of our final confrontation is nigh.
Your timing could be better, Greg.
Yeah, there's... Come on, man. Oh, no.
Do you have polpatoes for brains, you overstuffed buffoon? My beloved boy's been turned into a stinking corpse if you hadn't bloody noticed. You, Durmin or something, was it?
Yes, ma'am.
Hildy's told me all about your hijinks together. Pleased to meet you. My dear boy's always had a bit of a rebellious streak, what can I say? I can come
I can come on a bit too strong at times.
Nonsense.
But can you blame me? This time I thought I'd sit back and leave things to my sorry arse husband here. And look what that got me. You'll help me out, won't you?
Absolutely, yes.
The one thing the Warrior of Light is terrified of. An angry mother.
It's good to know that if we screw up saving the day, we do have backup. There's someone else in this world who could solve all the problems. Possibly better than we could and faster.
And cook a hearty meal besides.
That as well. I'm working on the whole snack thing, but I'm willing to bet her cooking skills surpass me.
Reunited with my dear boy for the first time in ages, and just look at him. He's green. Fortunately, there's still time to reverse the zombie curse, and I know just the remedy: a phial of holy water. The ingredients are simple: a tatter of oversold rags and a phial of twice distilled water. Sil'dih at the market stocks the former, and the latter you can procure by a trader by the name of Guest. Now hurry! Once the poison spreads throughout his veins, no antidote to save him.
In the meantime, I'll search for the bumbler's bumbling assistant. With any luck, Miss Nashi is still alive.
Ouch! That's smart. Egad, Sil'dih. You're looking none too hearty yourself.
No thanks to you, you bumbling oaf. Now, are you going to accompany Durmin here and make yourself useful, or do I have to reintroduce you to that wall?
But of course, milady, Gilgamesh is ever at your service. The Sil'dih sundries, was it? Come now, Durmin, there's work to be done.
Hey, Enkidu. All right, we gotta be quick. To Sil'dih!
Yes. Don't want to disappoint Mom.
Sil'dih!
I forget. Was he you or me?
I think this one's you.
Oversold rags, you say? I fear that I've only a single tatter left in stock, and it's already been spoken for.
Oh, come on.
But my good man, you must reconsider. My dear friend's life, and quite possibly mine own as well, hangs in the balance.
I sympathize with your plight, friend, but a man has to make a living. I've been promised a copious supply of rare chimera membrane for these rags. Unless you can offer me the same, no deal.
Gah, and you expect us to be able to summon such rarity out of nowhere at a moment's notice?
Well, look at what we have here. If it isn't the Warrior of Light from the Colosseum. Funny who you meet at the markets.
Oh, hello.
As it happens, I just returned from my training, and the slaying of 10 chimeras just happened to be my task for the day. If it's chimera membrane you seek, you're more than welcome to a share.
Ah, hooray.
My lady, you're far too kind.
Don't mention it. If it hadn't been for Inspector Hildibrand and Durmin here, I'd still be tag teaming with that slimy beast and cheating my way to fame and fortune. And I'm a woman who pays her debts.
Good seeing you.
The callbacks.
Yeah.
Thal, take me if it wasn't Avila the Tempest. Ever since she confessed to her trickery and started climbing back up from the bottom of the ranks, I've been proud to call myself one of her biggest fans. Why, I've a mind to give you the rags you seek simply for the privilege of meeting her.
That works too, thank you.
A kind sentiment, my good man, but we are more than happy to uphold our side of the bargain. Aren't we, Durmin? And with this, our task here is done. Now let's find this traitor named Guest.
Yes, let's. Where are they? They are in Ul'dah somewhere. We'll get there. Here in Ul'dah, to be precise. Hello, Guest. The blundering Manderville boy is on his last legs and you need something of mine to save him, you say? Perhaps you can give me a good reason why I should care? Those bloody Mandervilles are richer than the traders themselves, yet they have the audacity to haggle me down to the last gill for every purchase. If the family line ended today, I'd be a happier and wealthy man. And now I believe the ballroom calls. Good day to you, and do pass along my condolences to the grieving parents.
Have you not a shred of honor or compassion in that spindly body? Business rival or no, the man's on death's doorstep.
Who have we got here? After the events of that day, my father will not so easily forgive and forget, but it matters not to me. No, my love for you is as deep as the seven seas. I beg of you, milady, may I have this dance? Who are we? Who are we talking? Oh, it's you. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's her.
Hello. Durmin, what a lovely surprise. Are you here for the ball, perchance? Maybe afterward. Heavens, the poor inspector. Well, if it isn't the Lapis maiden in the flesh, what say you bid farewell to the preening fops and scruffy adventurers and share a dance with a cultured gentleman befitting your great beauty? Why, it would be a pleasure and an honor both, my lord. Provided you first provide my good friend Durmin with the bottle of twice distilled water that he seeks. Boy, she's doing fine in this town.
Oh, yeah.
You know this man? But if that's the price you would set, then so be it. Take it, it's barely worth its weight in gil anyway. Now shall we, Miss Arabella?
Thanks for taking one for the team.
Yes, I really appreciate it, thank you. You're a hero.
I knew Hildy to be a worthy rival, but to think he was this beloved by so many. Clearly, this realm would deeply mourn his loss. Quickly, Durmin, let's deliver these goods while there's still time to save him.
Yes, we need Hildibrand.
Yes, we do. The world needs Hildibrand.
All those people he helped, all those crimes he solved.
Exactly. And all the entertainment he's been providing these 2 weeks. We're here. We fetched.
I trust the two of you wouldn't dare come back empty-handed.
No, ma'am. We have a tattered cloth taken from the raiment of a powerful wraith, and a second pass through an alembic has removed nearly all the impurities once contained in this water.
Bloody brilliant. Aye, I'll take you over my muscle-headed half-wit of a husband. Oh, wait. Oh, whoops.
Oh no, I hit the button. Sorry.
That's okay. Now, stand back and let me show you some real Manderville home cooking. Thal, you bloody bugger, guide my skillet! Yep, two of the strongest crafters in the world.
In one room.
Aye, that should stop its spread. Now it's up to Hildy to flush out what's left of his system. Don't worry, he's my son after all. I reckon he's still got some fight left in him.
Look who I found. She was slumbering obliviously in a rubbish-strewn corner of Pearl Lane. Boy, did that nap feel good. Yes, I'm sure it did. Durmin, word has it that Ellie's been sighted at the Sil'dih ruins. We must go there with all haste.
You've done well by my dear boy today. Don't worry, I'll handle things from here. There's a nice warm bed for him, and I think I know a few specialists who might know a thing or two about his condition. What in the seven hells are you standing around for? The future of Uldah's at stake.
Right, yes. Going.
Durmin, my strength is yours as well. For Uldah, and for our friend Hildy.
You remind me of my husband. What with you having more muscle than sense. If you're so keen on making yourself useful, why don't you run to the markets and bring me some fire crystals? Keeping my dear boy warm is key to fighting off the zombification. Let's see, I believe 20 crates or so should suffice.
I am a warrior, not an... yes, milady.
Don't worry, I get this all the time.
I say, Enkidu, the burden we must bear simply to secure my long-awaited final confrontation with Durmin. That said, the events of today have given me cause to reflect. Durmin and Hildy both ought to be blessed with such veritable legions of friends tried and true. But alas, not I. No, only one true friend have I ever known, and she's long lost to me. You're a fine bird, and have given me great comfort in my travels, but you'll never be Enkidu, my one and true companion. Oh, my friend, were you here with me, even Durmin could not stand against our combined might. Oh, Enkidu, wherever you may wander, hear my words and return here to my side. Enkidu, do you hear me? Enkidu! Egads! What was that flash from the heavens? It nearly blinded me. And what? The crystals. Where have they gone?
Ah, that's clever. I get it.
Fancy meeting you here, old friend.
That voice. Could it be? My faithful companion. Why must you always make me wait so?
Ha! That's clever.
Yeah. It also is some nice, like, slight, subtle characterization for Gilgamesh in that moment, in that how deep must his despair be to single-handedly be able to do that?
Yeah, right?
It's like, wow, he must care so much.
Julian would send you on your way.
What are you doing dilly-dallying around here? Let me jog your memory. There's a moon-sick maid digging around at the Sil'dih excavation site with her mind set on turning Ul'dah into the land of the walking dead. Your concern for Hildy is most touching, but don't you worry. Mommy Dearest isn't going to let her beloved son kick the bucket that easily.
Oh, good. Thrilled to hear it. All right, then I'm going to go where I am supposed to be going. To the site! This is the place. Hello, Phyllis.
We've managed to track down Miss Ellie just up ahead, where your friends watch over her as we speak. Yet no matter how many times we try to reach out to her, she refuses so much to answer. Needless to say, we considered physically incapacitating her, but the crate she's sitting on isn't just a makeshift chair. It's filled to the brim with the traitor's spurn. One misstep, and the consequences could be dire indeed. You are our only hope, Durmin. Even in her single-minded rage, surely the time you spent together must still count for something. You need not put yourself in undue danger. I only ask that you step forth to where your voice may be heard and call out to your friend's name. I beg of you, Durmin. Surely, if anyone can convince the woman to abandon her madness, it is you.
All right. I'm convinced. And yeah, we did so much hanging out.
The power of friendship yet again becomes our greatest weapon.
It has to work. See, I don't see her, but I will just say... Hang on. There we go. Durmin, I suggest you leave this place while you still can. I bear you no grudge, but should you so much as think of interfering, I'll not hesitate to turn you into a zombie too. So it was you after all. Consider me disappointed. Your sister Ceci is already in custody. Surrender now and I'll see that no harm befalls her. How little you understand us, Inspector. Then again, how could one born into a life of power and privilege ever hope to understand? Ceci and I have no family, no friends, no fortune, nothing. Two sisters against the world, with our only quest for justice, or with only our quest for justice to give us meaning. Long ago, we made a vow. Should the worst happen, our mission takes priority over all. Yes, over our own wretched lives. Do you see now? Anything I might have once had to lose, I lost long ago. Now stand down, or suffer the same fates as the Uldan dogs you would defend.
Ellie, stop this madness.
I'm sorry, Inspector. Oh no.
Oh no! Zombies! They're here to grab her toes.
Oh no.
There's too many of them.
Not for a Manderville man! All in a day's work for a Manderville man. And now, it is hammer time!
Whoa.
Limit break 4!
Is that... I think that might be Cloud's ultimate limit break.
The Omni Slash?
Yeah.
Yay, Greg!
Yay, thank you, Greg. You were great. You only delay the inevitable. I have an entire legion of the undead at my beck and call. Face it, it's only the Inspector Hildibrand's ridiculously good fortune that you even made it this far, and he's as good as 6 fulms under.
Be forewarned, girl. Know that I speak from experience when I say, underestimate Hildy, and you do so at your own peril.
I'm afraid you underestimate me as well. No mere splash of holy water can stave off the effect of the traitor's spurn. I fear the good inspector's luck has finally run out.
Thal's balls, is there no end to them? I'm not liking our chances. Greg, was it?
He just accepts it now. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a shame to lose you, Durmin. Warrior of light that you are, you might yet have served one last purpose for us. Go forth, my zombie minions! When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. Bugger me with a broadsword, are my eyes yet to be believed? That pose? No, those are not 4 warriors of light that I see. They're 4 gentlemen of light!
Just so, my good man! Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return! Did you miss me?
We did.
Aye, we meet again, girl. Tell me you've got my snurble tonic, or I'll fashion myself a wig from your lovely locks after I've ripped them clean from your bloody head.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Eleazar. Core, you're looking absolutely resplendent today. Impossible. The holy water couldn't have cured him.
It didn't. Fortunately, our overlord spent quite some time building up an immunity to zombie powder.
When we heard that Master Hildibrand was at risk of joining the actual dead, we knew we had to take action.
An immunity to... I'm just going to pretend that makes any kind of sense.
Just accept it.
Life's easier when you just accept it, Priardian.
The game is up, Miss Ellie. Pray, abandon this madness. Besides, plots of mass murder hardly suit a lady like yourself.
It's over. It's all over. Inspector Briardian, you said there was something you would tell me when all this was through. I imagine you have no words for me now. Ellie, your powers of deduction are wanting. You said that you had lost everything, and everyone you had to lose, did you not? As for me, I've found something, someone, with whom I intend never to part. I care not if it takes years, even decades. When you emerge from your jail cell a free woman, I will be there. What say you?
Aww.
Well, this has all worked out.
Yeah, I mean, besides the revisionist history, but...
Yeah, I mean, Ulda's still gonna Ulda, and that'll never be stopped, but...
Miss Ellie, while the crimes perpetrated by you and your sister are unpardonable, you are far from the only ones guilty. On behalf of the Syndicate, I offer my apologies for the false aspirations cast upon your ancestors. You said that the nation of Ulda was built on lies. Seeing what I have seen today, I cannot deny your words. It will not be an easy task to rewrite, nay, restore history. But know this, I will do everything in my power to bring the truth to the fore.
Good guy, Godbert.
Yeah.
I do like that even in the jokey side quests, there are villains that are sympathetic.
Yeah. I like that as well. And we're, like, fleshing out our understanding of the world at large.
Yeah.
And it's still, like, it's a comedy, but that is still actually caring about the people in it.
Yeah.
Are we not forgetting someone here? And by someone, I mean me. If you're quite done playing cloak and dagger, I require Durmin's presence for a matter of far greater importance. Aye, the time of our too long delayed confrontation is nigh.
But...
Why the long face, friend? Ah, but mayhap this will have you singing a happier tune.
Could it be? The treaty blade, and the true one at that!
None other, and I have not the slightest intention of parting with it, save to the one who would defeat me in single combat. Ah, but I misspeak. It will not be single combat this time.
Is that my cue, old friend?
Whoa. Whoa.
Thal be merciful! What is that abomination? Some new breed of void scent?
Abomination? I'll thank you to address my companion with courtesy, girl. Ah, but 'twas the most curious thing. There I was, hauling a crate full of crystals for Hildy's mother, and thinking about how much better things would be if my dear friend Enkidu were here. Then came a flash from the heavens, and next thing I knew, there she was!
I love the zombies in the background.
By the gods! It makes perfect sense! Doubtless the crystals heard Greg's heartfelt plea, summoning forth his friend. Nay, no mere friend, but rather the primal Enkidu.
And the world has now completely and utterly ceased to be bound by the laws of logic. It was nice while it lasted.
Durmin, you may have bested me in the past, but facing the two of us together will not prove so easy a task. And yet, I trust you will not shirk from the challenge. Aye, Enkidu and I shall await you at Amdapor Keep.
The chicken painted green did not do you justice.
'Tis a ways from here, but what better venue for our climactic confrontation? If you would claim the treaty blade, then claim it from me as a warrior. To the skies, Enkidu! To the skies!
What, you mean they didn't just use the transform tool and size it up by like 5 times? It's hard to tell for me.
2 against 1? That's not very gentlemanly of you, Greg. Come, Durmin, to Amdapor!
Yes, sir.
This is a grave development indeed. To think that one man could summon a primal on his own. I must send word to the Scions at once.
I'm right here.
Oh, but of course. I had near forgotten we had a warrior of light in our very midst. Please, Durmin, you are our only hope to slay the primal and reclaim the blade.
I know.
We'll keep this one off the books, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Alphino doesn't really need to know about this.
Our team really deserves a break at this point. I'll just do them a service and handle this one solo. To Amdapor. And here we are. Inspector? What? Pal? What happened?
Ah, is that you, Durmin? Pray forgive me. I was right on Greg's trail when I encountered a subterranean curiosity that demanded my immediate attention.
I see.
I will be concluding my investigation forthwith. But in the meantime, might I trouble you to entertain Greg and his primal friend in my stead? Together, we will reclaim the treaty blade from that knave, Durmin. Yes, just go on ahead. I'll be along directly.
Got it. All right, we've one more fight to do. Which means I have one more team to assemble. Excuse me. And there we are. Another team has been assembled. Our tanks will be Victor and Linthi. Our healers, Kunoa and Synchronus. And fellow damage dealers, Kelzune, Jess, and Navi. It's going to be great. I can't wait. It's the battle in the Big Keep. How many realms has he traversed? And how many rivals has he felled? Gilgamesh journeys ever onward in his unending quest for the strongest of weapons, but the road is long and lonesome, and a painted rooster, loyal and noble as the bird may be, can bring a man only so much comfort in the darkest and most trying of times. So it was that Gilgamesh turned to the heavens, pleading to be reunited with a long-lost companion. Be it by fortune or fate, his prayers were heard, and the stage for the final confrontation is set. To the victor goes the treaty blade. Let's go!
That's me. I am Victor.
Every time it says Victor in the text, I always think it's like, oh, that's your name. Oh, and the good music again. This will be fun. At long last we meet again on the battlefield. I dare say Enkidu shall come to enjoy our tussles as much as I. You, however, might not find this one so enjoyable, unless you enjoy getting pounded senseless. Ha! Well, here goes. Thanks for joining us, squad. Get psyched, everyone. Let's do fights.
Once again, we have 2 targets.
Yep. To my side, Enkidu, the battle is joined. And I assume everyone else is focusing on Gilgamesh, so I will do the same. This fight I do not know. Ow, it hurts, it hurts. Enkidu, your master wants for succor.
Ah, so it appears Enkidu is healing Gilgamesh, so I think mayhap we do want to focus Enkidu.
Oh, all right. Gonna have to change targets then. This should cut you down to size. Ha! Uh-oh. I've been tethered.
There you go.
Oh, that's how we do it, I see. I'm so small. Fancy some feathers, bird brain? Oh no, you've been turned into an Enkidu. as have several of our companions.
Being a chicken does not give me as many offensive powers.
Hang in there. Healers, tend to the chicken. I appreciate that they, for these things, have made several comedy gimmick trial fights that are still actual fights that you need to properly do,
Yeah.
but still are just full of goofs. No! Whee! Gotta take out Enkidu.
These are the ones that the tank wants to eat, for example, me, so that they don't explode and hit the whole party.
That's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, other people can eat them if they want.
Oh, sure.
It's just I have the HP to spare.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Almost got it.
And we're good.
There we go.
Fight on, Enkidu, my ever faithful. Enkidu! Are the bonds of our friendship so fragile?
Yeah, that was the problem. He didn't believe hard enough.
But now for round 2 or 3, depending on how you count.
Me? Run away? Ha! I was seeking out a more suitable spot to celebrate my victory or something, but enough exposition. Now we fight like men, and ladies who dress like men! All are welcome. For Gilgamesh, it is transmogrifying time!
His true form.
The mightiest warrior ever to grace Eosia stands before you, by which I mean I, Gilgamesh! Prepare yourself!
Glorious. Yes, I'm
This
here.
way to the boss. This way to the boss.
Thank you. So helpful. All right, crew. We fight.
You'll get no quarter from me this time. Have at thee!
Oh, no.
You have some skill, I'll give you that. But Gilgamesh has only just begun to fight.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Oh, it's checkers.
He's playing a game of 2D chess with us. So, regular chess. A chain. Oh, no. Break it.
Yep, we gotta bring him further away from the chain to make it. There we go. Weakens it.
Oh, look at that. Oh, I love that. That's a fun gimmick.
Gilgamesh is in the mood for dancing. Most impressive. Very well. I too shall fight with all my strength. Oh, uh-oh. Someone just woke up the dragon.
Oh, jeez. It seems you're right. Let's target these. It's a lot of dragon heads. Okay. Lovely danger puddles you've got.
He's got lasers! Dragons! Laser dragons!
And now for something truly shocking.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Uh-oh, someone's being enchained. Oh, no. We'll save you. There we go. Gilgamesh is in the mood for dancing again. This is a fun fight, actually.
Yeah.
No, the mighty Gilgamesh will not be defeated.
Oof, right. Okay. Whew. All right, more lightning.
I think after this, it might be a good time for you to limit break.
You know what? Why not?
Go, Durmin! Use your
Get
big
him!
sword!
Swah!
Yeah, alright.
Put a little dent in there. Yeah.
And just a few more good hits.
Yep.
Should do it.
Get him. No time for the
All
dragons.
right.
There we go.
Mechanics are for cars.
To think that my full complement of arms would avail me not. No more hijinks from Gilgamesh. You have my word. The treaty blade too I shall return, just as soon as I remember where I hid it. Anyway, I yield to your unparalleled puissance. Spare me the something.
Let's just put the guns away. Yay! Thank you, everyone, for helping us. Glorious. Oh, look at this. All synced up and everything. One more thank you to all of the Dantalis folk, and of course, Joe here, for helping through all these fights. And Joe especially, just for joining for all the rest of it.
Absolutely.
And tanking half of the voices. It's been great. Now let's see what's in this little treasure coffer, which usually I wouldn't check in most of these things, but since it's sometimes been, oh, it's Enkidu. Beautiful.
Never again, this I do solemnly swear.
All right, that was great fun. Let's go wrap this story up, huh?
Enkidu's alive.
Yay! This is all the Enkidu you ever needed.
Not! Ha! I lied! Again!
Darn, y'all talk fast sometimes.
You can take that fusty old blade for all I care. I thirst for true power, and not save the strongest of swords will suffice. Warrior of Light, you've proven a worthy opponent, but I warn you, treasure every moment with your weapon.
Joke's on him, you have no weapons. You are the weapon.
It's true.
For as sure as day follows night, the hour will come when I claim it as my own. Till we meet again!
Yeah, I had to register these fists with the brass blades as official weapons. They didn't care.
Well, they should be. Look how dangerous those guns are.
Exactly. See? Someone gets it.
What ho, Durmin? Have you seen Craig and his oversized avian companion? Lead me to them at once, and we shall deliver the coup de grace together.
Already handled, sir. You needn't dirty your lovely gloves.
The battle has already been won? That is triumphant news indeed. Clearly the lessons you have learned from me have not been for naught. And what's this you say? The treaty blade lies somewhere hidden in the nearby wood? Worry not, my ever-loyal associate, for no buried treasure will escape the keen eye of Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry and Inspector Extraordinaire. Now, which way was the forest again?
Which way indeed? Hey, storm cleared up very fast. Odin's just like, oh, am I interrupting? I'm sorry. You guys are doing a thing, my bad.
Durmin, what news of the Primal and the Treaty Blade? Remarkable. I knew the Warrior of Light would emerge triumphant. Let us hope that the Inspector Hildibrand enjoys similar success in finding the blade.
Such design, such craftsmanship. At once bold and powerful, yet sensitive and refined. I believe I've found the inspiration for my next masterpiece.
Of course they're beautiful. They were the greatest treasures of lost Sil'dih. To think that they were locked away in the vaults of those that destroyed our homeland and dragged our ancestors' names through the mud. And just how did you come to know of these long-lost relics?
There was an ancient scroll passed down in our family, left to us by our dear grandmother. It spoke of the 4 warriors of light, their 4 relics, and an incantation of untold power. If we could have wielded this magic of legend, Ellie and I might still have had the last laugh.
Alas, speaking the words had no effect. Only a warrior of light can wield the power, or so the legend goes. Oh, what I wouldn't have given to see it. The ultimate achievement of the greatest mages this realm has ever known. And just what sort of incantation is this? The ring casts open the doors of justice. The wise man whispers a verdict true. Azima's virtue shines down from the heavens. To complete the incantation, the warrior of light would then hold forth the treaty blade and speak, "Blade in hand, I swear unto you." The legends differ as to what happens next, but all speak of a great holy radiance shining down from the heavens.
Over here, friends! Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, returns with tidings most triumphant.
Hooray! I love him.
Behold! Safe in my hands, none other than the treaty blade, and the real one this time, I swear unto you.
Yes, yes, just like that. I swear unto you, then...
My word! Whatever is this odd tingling sensation?
Ridiculous. Hildibrand isn't a warrior of light. He's just some fool who thought he could stop the lesser moon with his own bare hands. It would seem the treaty blade is just as confused as the rest of us.
No, the light. Someone stop it. I won't stand to see the legendary power of our forefathers wielded by this muscle-bound buffoon.
Skyward ho!
Well, I dare say that proved to be a most useful incantation indeed. And so the light of justice that shone from the treaty blade banished the shadow, returning peace to the land. So the legend ended. I must say, I never expected it to be quite literally a beam of light. I suppose it wouldn't have been much use to us after all. Inspector! Oh, Inspector, wait for me!
False balls, Hildy. First you almost die at your poor mother's feet, and now you fly off to God's nowhere without giving her a kiss goodbye.
Ho, 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 ho. It appears that a case of wanderlust has once again struck Hildibrand, as it has many a Manderville man before him. Godspeed, my boy. When the day comes that you tire of mystery solving, your dear old man will be here to pass on to you the family art.
So, in the end, the sealed-in incantation of legend was wielded not by a warrior of light, but a gentleman of light. Well, the treaty blade is some 6 centuries old after all. Perhaps it's not quite as sharp as it used to be. So, funny thing about that is a joke of the Japanese. It's a Japanese pun joke, because in Japanese, the word warrior of light is Hikari no Senshi, and the word for gentleman of light is Hikari no Shinshi.
That's great.
It is basically one syllable off.
I love it. The magic that brought peace and happiness to the people of Balladia. It was every bit as beautiful as I imagined. To think I would see it with my own eyes, it's nothing short of a dream come true. He bumbles and stumbles through yet another case, and still he manages to make a girl's dreams come true. A gentleman to the end, a bloody bastard. Oh dear.
What's this? A glint in the corner of my eye. A curious scent wafting in on the winds from a far-flung land. Do I smell a case?
Oh no. Oh good, yes.
Worry not for me, my friends, for wherever the wrong need want for succor, I, Hildibrand, shall be there, till we meet again!
The hero this realm deserves. We will have to do in the meantime. I wonder, do we get a tease? Yes. Or at the very least, a wonderful little credit sequence. Hildibrand will return.
He's fine.
It's all right. Sorry, folks.
No goblins were harmed in the making of this credit sequence.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Hello.
Looking glorious.
Thank you.
Oh, this has been so fun. We did it.
We did it!
We did it. I suspect, though, that our time with Hildibrand is not over. Someday, when the time is right, he will return. Goodness, that was timed very well.
That is the ominous thundering of his return.
Yeah, Odin's like, guys, for real, I booked it at like 3 p.m. You guys, it's my turn.
All right, all right.
All right. That was fun. Joe, thank you so much for joining me for the silliness. I've had a great time.
Yes, of course, of course. This was a very wonderful adventure that we have just had, just now.
I'm so happy we've been able to share it.
What was your favorite part of the adventure, Dan?
My favorite part was where you did the fun voices, and I didn't have to do every single one.
Ah, of course, yes.
You've made my life a lot easier. I should bring in just other people to do voices more often. Joe, I can't imagine anyone watching this is not already familiar with you and the stuff you've done, but just in case we have a newcomer here, where can people find you and the cool things you make?
Well, they can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/JoCat, where I post a majority of my main content, or alternatively, if you'd like to watch someone bumble around playing video games live, you can also catch me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/JoCat.
Fantastic. All of you, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this fun little side adventure. And now that we've had our fun, I believe it is time to be getting back to the main story. Maybe not right away. It depends on how much more of a break I need, but Stormblood's on the horizon, and I am very excited. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a lovely day, and the adventures of Durmin and JoCat will continue. Fear not. Goodbye.
Bye!